Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 8, chapter entitled Lord Krishna Shows the Universal Form, text number 7. So please repeat. Shri Garga Uvacha Yadhunam Aham Acharyaha Kyatah cha Bhuvi Sarvadha Sutam Maya Samskritam. Te Manyate Devaki Sutam. Shri Garga Uvacha Shri Garga Uvacha Yadhunamaham Acharyah Yadhunamaham Acharya Khyatascha Bhuvi Sarvadha Khyatascha Bhuvi Sarvadha Sutam Maya Samskritam Te Sutam Maya Samskritam Te Manyate Devaki Sutam Manyate Devaki Sutam. Shri Garga Uvacha Yadhunamaham Acharya Yatascha Bhuvi Sarvadha Sutam Maya Samskritam Te Manyate Devaki Sutam. Sri Gargavacha. Garga Muni said, Yadunam of the Yadu dynasty, I am Acharya, the priestly guide or Prohita, Kyatah cha, this is already known, Bhuvi, everywhere, Sarvada, always, Sutam, the sun, Maya, by me, Sanskritam, having undergone the purificatory process. They of you, Manyate, would be considered Devaki Sutam, the son of Devaki. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, founder Acharya of ISKCON and BPT. Translation. Gargamuni said, My dear Nanda Maharaj, I am the priestly guide of the Yadu dynasty. This is known everywhere. Therefore, if I perform the purificatory process for your sons, Kamsa will consider them the sons of Devaki. Purport. Gargamuni indirectly disclosed that Krishna was the son of Devaki, not of Yashoda. Since Kamsa was already searching for Krishna, if the purificatory process was undertaken by Gargamuni, Kamsa might be informed, and that would create a catastrophe. It may be argued that although Gargamuni was the priest of the Yadu dynasty, Nanda Maharaj also belonged to that dynasty. Nanda Maharaja, however, was not acting as a Kshatriya. Therefore, Gargamuni said, If I act as your priest, this will confirm that Krishna is the son of Devaki. Om Gyanatimirandasya Gyananjanashalakhya Chakshurunmilitamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yatkripatamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vikasa Swami Namane Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswate Devim Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschati Deshatarini Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Shri Garga Vacha Yadunam Aham Acharya Kyatascha Bhuvi Sarvada Sutam Maya Sanskritam Te Manyate Devaki Sutam. Translation. Gargamuni said, My dear Nanda Maharaja, I am the priestly guide of the Yadu dynasty. This is known everywhere. Therefore, if I perform the purificatory process for your sons, Kamsa will consider them the sons of Devaki. So we can see that devotees of Krishna perform all actions only to please Lord, nothing for their own pleasure. Krishnarte akila cheshta. Everything is performed only for Krishna's pleasure. Nothing is expected in response. So whatever may be the situation, here you can see Devaki and Vasudev are in Mathura. So they don't come to see Krishna. In fact, they only sent Gargamuni for the ceremony. So, but they are just in the background. It's not that they have desire, intense desire to come meet Krishna, see Krishna, and do all service to him. But it's not conducive in the situation, so they don't do it. So whatever is done is for Krishna's pleasure, not for I'm not there. I have to be there. Or here you can see also Gargamuni is going to give name to Krishna, and to be the priest for Krishna is such a you can put in your visiting card. I only name the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Your profile will be updated. You'll have more followers. But he's advising keep it secretly. Don't make it famous. So why? Because it's conducive for Krishna's pastimes. Uh, and Nanda Maharaj Vasudev doesn't make it as, very, how you call pomp? What is it? Pomp. What do they say? They make the, huh? Yeah, they make, nowadays you can see the rich people, all their ceremonies and festivals, family festivals, they celebrate in a very grand way, just to boost their ego. So, yeah. So why? Because everything is there for their sense gratification. They invite big celebrities for their marriage functions and different things, advertise it, postures, all these things, just to spend lakhs, sometimes crores of rupees, just for some material events. So much money, they don't know what to do. But you can see mundane people, they make it so grand way. During COVID time, of course, it was very difficult. Some people could not do such celebrations in a grand way. Uh, some were happy that, okay, this opportunity, get married quickly so that I don't have to spend so much money. But mostly, those who had to get married or undergo some ceremonies, they, after COVID, after lockdown, again, they re-celebrated it, or they organized another program, just to show their pride, show their wealth, and increase their status, increase their pride. All these things are done only to satisfy their very self, update the status, and self-centered. And selfie is also like that. We can see people, they go to some tourist spots, or they come to temple, wherever they go, they take selfies, or they take a lot of pictures, update their profiles, status. Idea is, they want to show others how they are enjoying. So most of the times what happens, they are so engrossed and absorbed in taking photos and videos that they forget themselves to enjoy. Live the moment, they call nowadays. Live the moment. Don't cry for the past. Don't think of the future. Live the moment. So they forget to enjoy themselves, but they are more happy than directly getting enjoyed. They are more happy that they want to make others realize how they are enjoying. By knowing that, by increase, what's that? Neighbor's pride is, neighbor's envy is owner's pride. Uh, so they want to increase their neighbor's envies, how they are enjoying, but actually they don't enjoy also, because they are busy in taking photos and videos. Uh, so, so all these big celebrations, marriage, it's a big thing. Although it's Vedic samskar, but nowadays it's all done only to boost their ego and to show their wealth. It's like that. But here we can see Supreme Personality of Godhead, such a humble celebration. No invitation. You can't even send Google location. What is the location? Nanda Gokulam, Goshala, behind shed number 36. You can't send Google location also. No Zoom links, no online invite also. Everything is very simple, humble. Supreme Personality of Godhead, you can see celebration. So why is everything to favor his Vrindavan pastimes? So this is how Krishna wishes, and this is how all Vraja pastimes will manifest. And just to have that way of life, devotees also understand Krishna desires so, and it's our duty. We have to do like that. It's all only for Krishna's pleasure. Krishna Arte Akila Jeshta. Everything is done only for his pleasure. What I will get, what I will do. We also have sometimes big festivals. Some services are like, you don't even take part in the festival. Festival means you are in parking. They will give parking service. So completely out of the scene. So of course sometimes the managers, they make sure they swap people, but sometimes if you are too good, that's also a problem. Every time you'll get same department. So you will not even take part of the sometimes festival, they don't even take darshan of the Lord. So of course, devotees are happy serving Krishna in that way. But this is what is expected. I didn't take part. My name was not there. I was not invited. I am not there in the scene. I am not there in the photo. Uh, I'm not there. My name is not there. The invitation. All these things doesn't matter for the devotee. Devotee always uh, considers what is Krishna's pleasure. Mm. Otherwise, what I have done, that is not the goal is important. Serving Krishna, the serving Krishna. So this thing, this football game. So there is I don't know how many players, 11 players. I don't know. So many players are there. Everybody's there's so many players getting their points also when they put the goal exclusively. I think they also get the point. I don't know, but if one fine one now fine point of time, if the goalkeeper, if he starts thinking, how many goals did I put, you know, if he starts thinking, then that won't help the game. He won't win the match. So therefore, what is for me is not important. What pleases Guru Krishna, that is important. And this Namakarana ceremony, name giving ceremony, is going to happen in few shlokas. We will see. So usually spiritual names is given to us so that whenever we call our children, our friends, like that, so by chanting Lord's name, we get purified. That's the whole idea. Indirectly or directly, we think of the Lord, we get purified. Uh, Nowadays, it's fashion. There is spiritual idea also, but they want to give spiritual name, but they want to add some fashion names. So you end up hearing some crazy, fancy names. So, so Sanskrit name, but with how you call English tinge or whatever. You end up hearing so crazy names. And once during in a hotel reception, when I asked the fellow there, "What is your name?" He called. He said, My name is Pats." Looking like a Hindu, was not looking Christian. I was wondering whether it's Pads, Pats. Uh, so I don't know how to get clarified. I asked him if he has a visiting card. So then he gave his visiting card. Then it was written Padmanabh, yes. So he took first three letters and initial Pats. So this is how he was calling himself. Pats. Nice name, such a nice name. Padmanabh, yes. But he is calling himself Pats. So and all these. Uh, so now I remember when we were in school, my teacher used to chastise. You know. So all you people, Srinivas, Balaji, Govinda, and all the time out at you. Govinda, rascal, Srinivas, idiot. Why do you keep such names? So I think only problem, you know, so only problem in naming people with spiritual names is, so she was a bit fried that we were all happy. So, but still, I think it's no harm. It will purify us. So for jivas like us, yes, they keep Lord's name. Now here they're going to name Lord, Supreme Lord. So what name you can give to him? So Prabhupada so many times he said God has no names, or you can say God has so many names, or you can say all names refer to God. And if you have to give only one name, that you can give only the name Krishna. So all attractive. So and of course Bhaktivinoda Thakur, other acharyas have in depth analyzed this, and primary name, secondary name, all these things there. Thing Harinam Chintamani, detailed such things are discussed. So primary names means that names of the Lord which deals with the pastimes, direct pastimes, which deals with the devotees, like Yashodanandan, Nandanandan, Vasudevanandan. So all these names are referring to the primary names. Secondary names means that refers to the qualities and attributes of the Lord. which refers to his powers, like Vishnu and other names are secondary names. Like that, in depth, acharyas have analyzed, and then some names give us, purify us, liberate us, but doesn't give Krishna prem. So in that way, so we will see later uh, what's the in-depth meaning of the word Krishna, Rama, Balarama, all those things. I think future shlokas will cover. And so here, I think Prabhupada mentions that indirectly, Gargamuni is hinting Nanda Maharaj that Krishna is not your son. So I think this is second time this is happening. First time, if we all remember, uh, so when Vasudev and Nanda Maharaj met in Mathura, so that time Vasudev hinted also Nanda Maharaj that Krishna is not your son. Anybody remember? How was that? Uh, he said Yashoda is an elderly age. So in that age, it's generally not possible to beget a male son. So in that way, indirectly, Vasudev hinted that Krishna is not your son. So now again, you can see Prabhupada indirectly Gargamuni is hinting. So indirectly, hints are given, but they don't realize. Too much Maya. Indirect preaching. So you do indirect preaching, you can't convey the message if they are in deep Maya. But of course, in this case, it's Yoga Maya. They are too much attached to Krishna, so it's not possible for them to. Even you say directly, it will not help. Uh, so if somebody is too much in Maya, this indirect preaching may not help. Will not help. In some cases, exceptional cases, yeah, you may have to use this method. Time, place, circumstances are there. But in most of the cases, devotees tend to do such preaching, but I think miserably they fail to communicate the essence. Uh, Srila Prabhupada, you can see how directly he has put pure message in his books. Somebody was mentioning in a lecture that if Srila Prabhupada would come now, uh, devotees who propagate this indirect preaching, they will advise Srila Prabhupada to go through the counseling system, and they would advise Prabhupada that I think Prabhupada, you should change your way of preaching, counsel Prabhupada how he should preach. So Prabhupada gave such a direct message in his Bhagavatam, in his lectures, in his books. In spite of directly giving, today we are in few decades come up with so many things which Srila Prabhupada didn't say. Imagine if Srila Prabhupada would not do it, but imagine if he would have done so-called indirect preaching. Not what would be our position now? You can just imagine. So directly, Srila Prabhupada said, no philanthropic, no altruism, no feeding poor. And he said, anybody who comes to temple, you should give them hot prasadam. There is one letter. He said, forward to all temple presidents. Anybody coming to temple, they should get hot puris. The dough should be, the atta dough mixture should be kept ready always. As soon as guest comes, give them hot puris, some sabji, some sweets. So now what we do is opposite. When they come to temple, either they get no prasad or they get dona prasad or khichdi at best. And we go out and distribute full plate of prasadam. Schools, colleges, or whatever, philanthropy, poor, feeding poor. Schools, Gurukul, what Prabhupada said, I don't want schools, material curriculum, even if there is no one student in my Gurukul, still I don't want material curriculum. Right there we can see in conversations, Prabhupada mentions this, and many times Srila Prabhupada mentioned, but now we have, ISKCON has schools with material curriculums, and they don't inspire us, they don't advise us to start Gurukul, which is opposite to what Srila Prabhupada said, and like this list can go on. Whatever Srila Prabhupada said he didn't want, we do it. And whatever Srila Prabhupada wanted, we don't do it. Varnashrama, for example, Gurukul and all these things. Yeah, we had a lot of problems, but then we have to see what is the solution, not that completely eradicated. So Srila Prabhupada gave us such a pure message in a very direct way. So there is no need for indirect preaching unless it's really necessary. So it's where to draw line, demarcation. Somewhere we have to draw line, but where we can draw, only an expert Acharya can tell this. So we are not Acharyas. Srila Prabhupada is Acharya, and he has given us his books, which is law books for 10,000 years. He said, my books are law books for next 10,000 years. So why to change in few decades? So therefore, Krishnarte Akila Cheshta should be considered. So otherwise, it's becoming very wild. So many preachers, so many new inventions. So it's becoming so crazy. What's going on in the name of ISKCON? What kind of lectures? What kind of attitudes? What kind of approach is there? So if you start seeing all these things, sometimes really you wonder what's going on. Are we in ISKCON, or this is Srila Prabhupada's movement? Uh, so, so therefore we should be very careful in understanding these books through bona fide representative of Srila Prabhupada, uh, and uh, and try to understand it properly, preach properly. Uh, uh, so Krishna Artha Akila Cheshta, only for Krishna's pleasure. How do we know that whether we are pleasing Krishna or not? We have to ask our spiritual master, a representative of spiritual master, and this being a marathon, book marathon. So we all know Srila Prabhupada very much expressed his desire that distributing books will please him the most. So many devotees are taken up the service in this month to distribute books. So this will know definitely will please Srila Prabhupada. So one good thing even about the Ritviks is that they're distributing so many Srila Prabhupada books. So that adds to their credit. Definitely some punya they get, a lot of punya they get. So we all should take up the service. We know our spiritual master also emphasize this book distribution very much, and farm projects. These are two fields which he wants to give emphasis. Of course, we are building this temple, and temple is ultimately meant to distribute books and to please Srila Prabhupada. We have this beautiful corridor, Bhagavatam corridor. All 12 cantos are depicted in, the pink stone. And then above these carvings, they're going to be all shlokas, 18,000 Bhagavatam verses on the sandblast. They're going to be sandblasted on the glass, and they're going to display that. And at the end of where they will finish the 12th canto, you can see there is a BBT hall. So it's exclusively meant for Bhagavatam distribution, Prabhupada books distribution. So it's all well designed, well planned, that when people come, they learn about all 12 cantos and we preach them. And when they come at the 12th canto, then immediately there is book stall ready to give them a set. So all this plan, all this project, all this, everything is there so that we distribute more books of Srila Prabhupada. Everything is designed for the same purpose. So many 18,000 shlokas, why we put, who can read? And also it is in Sanskrit. What is the point? Nobody is going to read. It is in very far, not even in a reachable distance. So what is the point? So just to impress people, just to give an idea that the whole temple, whatever they are seeing, the kirtan, the music, the dance, the prasadam, the decoration, devotees, happiness, bliss, everything is from Bhagavatam. Just to give that idea, what is this all about? Why everywhere is Bhagavatam, shlokas, Bhagavatam, depiction, Bhagavatam books? Why? Because everything centered on Srimad Bhagavatam. Just to give that idea so that book distributors can easily preach. The whole temple is designed so that people will take inspiration that because of Bhagavatam everything is happening, so that we can give these books. Mm. So that's the whole idea, that Srimad Bhagavatam will be distributed, and we can see how devotees are creating history, distributing these Bhagavatam sets. Guru Maharaj in lecture, he was mentioning that book distribution started by distributing magazines first, the first generation, and then came small books, and then of course big books, and now it's time to distribute sets. Evolution. Gradually there should be evolution. So big sets everywhere. Maharaj is pushing so much this Bhagavatam distribution and Chaitanya Charitamrita distribution, and then we can see in the West how our devotees in Atlanta and everywhere else distributing so many books. So it's amazing how the service is expanding so nicely. So we all should take part. As Prabhupada said, 10,000 years. These should be law books. So many, CDs were distributed, so many cassettes were distributed, records as they call. Initially there was CDs, then cassettes, and all these things, floppy disk, something like that was there. So you can see technology changes, and whatever was distributed in these forms got lost. There is no use anymore. But these books, even if it is 10 years old, 20 years old, 30 years old, it will stay, and it will. So whatever other forms of preaching we can do, but it should not be a substitute for distributing books. Book distribution should be the basis, the foundation, because technology will keep changing. So like today, pen drives, you may give books, lectures in pen drives, and tomorrow you may not have device to play this pen drive. So what will happen then? So again you have to give in a different form. So whatever we do it should not be substituted for book distribution. Book distribution should go on in its own way, and other things should be an additional extra things. So therefore Prabhupada said 10,000 years these books should be there. So we have to distribute these books, and all these soldiers, whatever service we do, at least in marathon, we can see there are some devotees who work in crane. But when they see some guest coming, if they have some time, they distribute Bhagavatam set with the help of the same crane. They don't have to carry it. The crane will deliver it in the car. So devotees are so inspired. Whatever service, the pujaris, they should have some books in the altar. Everybody. So they should have some books. And then this month, everybody should go out, distribute books. So I think I will give extra 5 minutes for all the book distributors, save some time. So indirectly I will help more book distribution. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Any questions, comments, mistakes? Direct preaching.
Days back we met one. Since you said this point, it just reminded me one person. Same thing he said, that sir, now books and all is outdated. Now it's all smartphones, digital, and this is what he's saying. Then we were just pushing him. And his son and daughter are there. He said, these books are solid. This will help your children read this. Then we said that they watch the TV. Their intelligence and everything is going down. Books are solid. They can read, and moreover, this is not some mundane book. It's a transcendental book, and we were trying to preach to him and explain him. And finally, he took one Krishna book. but the concept is there. It's very much that everything is audio, everything is digital. The books are books. It's solid, and always you have the feeling of touching, and then always you can read wherever you can travel and like that. But of course, we encourage people other way around also. Some more other you read and hear. Yes, we should spell it out. Some people can relate to it and take.
Because we can see so many stories we hear, books purchased 10 years ago, 20 years ago, time bomb, as Srila Prabhupada said. Now if it is in digital form, we don't know what will be next generation, how things will change, and whether this format will continue, this is that. So yes, we can do it simultaneously, but books should be the basis. Both can be done together, should not be a substitute. So Hare Krishna. Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.